Hi everyone, I'm Jodi. Welcome to my channel. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday for those of you that were in the US and have enjoyed the madness that now happens because of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the shopping that's happening all over. I thought let's just take a breath and let's talk about products that actually work so that if you are trying to compile a list of gifts for someone else, or in today's case, maybe some for yourself, I wanted to share with you my most loved, most reached for, most used Drugstore Beauty products of the entire year. Now, I use a lot of products throughout the year, as many of you know, and so for me to reach back for the same one over and over, it means it is a really good product. So that's what I'm gonna share with you today. These are products that I paid for myself. This is not sponsored. These are products that I use in my routine when I'm not on camera. So that's what we're gonna cover today. And then as soon as we're done, I'm gonna go make some homemade fudge. If you're looking for a good fudge recipe, I know you're like, Jodi, what does drugstore makeup and fudge have to do with one another? It's just that time of the year. I'm gonna put up some Christmas decorations this afternoon and I'm gonna make some homemade fudge. In fact, here is the video of my family's long tested and tried and true fudge recipe. So if you are looking for a new fudge recipe that takes 6 ingredients super fast, you might want to check that one out. So if you're ready, let's dive into some really good products at affordable prices. So right off the bat, I wanted to start with my favorite moisturizer, and I use this every single morning. I put on quite a bit of it. I let it absorb into my skin, and then I go and put on my foundation, and that really does help, especially for those of us that are in an older age bracket that have more dry skin, allowing a good moisturizer that's not too thick to moisturize and hydrate your skin before applying foundation. Not only makes the foundation look better on your skin, it helps it to look good longer throughout the day. So for that, I reach for the L'Oreal Collagen Filler. I usually think I should know this by heart. I've talked about this one so many times, but it's got a lot of words. It's the Collagen Moisture Filler. If you have not tried this, I have it linked down below. Put it in your cart on Amazon. You will not regret it. I have oily skin in the T-zone. The rest of my skin is dry. This works well in both areas. If you've got oily skin, it's a light enough moisturizer. If you have, look, you can tell I've used a lot. If you've got dry skin, it's thick enough, and then you can layer it on if you want to add a little bit more. I'm not going to put it on right now on my face because I have makeup on, but I did put it on this morning. It has the slightest scent. I would say, I don't know if it makes sense to put in percentages, but it's like a 3% of a smell. Does that make sense? It's just, I don't want you to say that it's unscented, but it does have just barely there. So if you have some sensitivity to scents, I don't think this one would be an issue for you. I am scent sensitive. I'm scent sensitive, and this does not bother me at all. I get migraines triggered pretty easily if there's a stronger scent, and this one does not create any headaches for me at all. In fact, because it works so well, I think it keeps me from getting headaches when I put my makeup on in the morning. This is a reasonably priced, very effective moisturizer for those of you that have more dry skin. And again, like I said, if you've got oily skin, you just can use a little bit and it's a really good hydration that doesn't appear greasy to your more oily skin. Staying in skincare, I use the CeraVe Skin Renewing Night Cream. I use this in the evenings for a heavier moisturizer, especially in the wintertime. So I've been reaching for this for the last couple of months, and I will use this all the way through until springtime. Now, if you suffer from really dry skin, this might be fine for you in the warmer months. I just don't find that I need it when I'm not in artificial heat and my skin is going from really cold temperatures to really warm temperatures. That's what causes a lot of havoc for those of us with dry skin, and this helps keep that at bay. And then the next day when I'm ready to go back to my daily moisturizer, my skin doesn't feel nearly as dehydrated. As far as beauty tools go, I am constantly reaching for, in fact, I need to open up this new pack, these beauty sponges by Real Techniques. I love these beauty sponges. You guys have seen me use these a lot. I use this time of the year typically on Black Friday or Cyber Monday to just stock up on these because they are at a reduced price. They're already very cost effective. They make great stocking stuffers, but I love to buy these because this flat side makes it very easy to crease a line or to cut a line right through here if you put a little bit of a light eyeshadow powder right through there. And just if you're not sure, you definitely want to use a beauty sponge damp. Think about a sponge at the kitchen sink. If it's a dry sponge and you put product on it, it's still kind of rough and it doesn't pick up any spills, it doesn't absorb. Same with these, you want these to be nice and damp, so I get them wet. They should double or triple in size, squeeze out all the moisture, and then you should use them. I love these for putting on a more thin look of makeup for that day. If I want a more full coverage, then I will use a kabuki brush. If I want a thinner look, a little bit lighter coverage, then regardless of if I'm using a tinted moisturizer or a foundation, I will use a beauty sponge to apply it. And then the other reason I use these is right on this tip. I like to press in my concealer after it's been sitting on my eyes for 30 to 45 seconds so that it's really tacky. I will go in and just use this to press and roll so that I'm getting that concealer into all of those lines underneath my eyes. So love these. You don't need to spend a ton on beauty sponges. I think these are fantastic. When it comes to tinted moisturizer, and I have tried a lot of them, I reach back for the True Match Nude by L'Oreal. I wear this in 4.5. This has 1% hyaluronic acid. You can see how much I use this because this is a tinted serum versus a tinted moisturizer or a foundation. This will go on a little bit lighter, but it is buildable. And if you want to go a little bit more coverage, then apply it with a kabuki brush instead of a beauty sponge. If you just want your complexion to look a little more smooth, maybe cover up a little bit of freckles or discoloration, then a tinted serum like this with a damp beauty sponge is all you need. And again, you can build it up with a kabuki brush if you prefer. Of all the tinted moisturizers I tried, I find that this one doesn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles. It doesn't get shiny in my oily areas throughout the day, which is something that I struggle with tinted moisturizers or tinted serums, especially when it has hyaluronic acid in it. But this one does not get overly shiny, or you know that look where you just feel like your oil is breaking through. That happens to me with some tinted moisturizers right around my nose. That does not happen with this one, even if I don't set it with a little bit of a dusting of powder. It stays in place. I will say that if you build it too thick, then I do get some sliding around or settling into fine lines and wrinkles, but I think that's because it has that hyaluronic acid in it. It's not meant to go real thick. If you want to go with a thicker coverage, then I would go with a foundation, but especially those days at home where you don't want to be glammed up, you just want a nice complexion. That's where I reach for this one the most. I should have probably put these in order of the way I apply them, but I didn't. When it comes to a primer, I love this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I've talked about this one before. You can see I put it on with my fingernail. I like this one because it is a primer for your eyelids, and as we age, we should be putting on a primer on our eyelids, especially if you're wearing a cream eyeshadow. Whether it's matte or shimmer, a nice primer does help to keep that eyeshadow in place and doesn't show the creases in our eyes as much. I also like this because you can put it on your lips to help fill in some of those ridges on your lips so they don't look as aged or as dry. And then it's a primer for your face. So it's a 3-in-1. I use this a lot on my lips. I don't use it as much on my eyes because I like to use the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly, but I do use this right through here, and it helps minimize the looks of pores right around my nose, and it also helps me from getting that oil breakthrough with any of my foundations or tinted serums. And then on my lips, I use this one as well. So I've really enjoyed this. So if you're looking for a multitasking product or a good stocking stuffer, after I put this in a Friday face-off against the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, that's when I really fell in love with this one. So if you have not checked out that video, I'll link it at the end, and you will quickly become a fan of this. If you like a putty primer, but you don't like it to kind of ball up, you know how some can get kind of gummy or yeah, balled up, I guess is the best word for it. This one does not do that. And I've put foundation on top of it with a beauty sponge as well as a kabuki brush. And I haven't had any of that gummy up ball at all. And my makeup looks flawless. It's a smooth canvas, for hours. So I will link that video at the end of this one if you want to check that out as well. Speaking of eyeshadow, I tried these earlier in the summer because I wanted to do a lavender look. These are the Maybelline Shadow Blocks. The color payout on these lasted all day. They were the same bright, vibrant colors in the evening that they were earlier in the day when I applied them, which I appreciated that. There was not a lot of fallout. My eyes didn't get itchy, or there was no sensitivity around these colors. And for just, I think these are under $10, you get 3 different eyeshadows. These would be great for stocking stuffers. If you know somebody that's maybe new with makeup, I'm just trying to open these. It's not the packaging, it's my nails. They're not big palettes, but it is enough to get somebody started with a new eyeshadow look. And it gives them 3 colors, so they can really get down the basics of putting that lighter color here, a little bit darker in the transition, and then the darkest color out here. So it really takes out the guesswork to somebody that is just learning makeup for the first time, or somebody that's getting back into makeup. The 3 colors I love. The packaging is not great. It is plastic packaging, so you're not gonna get that feeling that you get when you open a Chanel package. But we're not buying it for the packaging, we're buying it for the product itself. And these come in a lot of different colors. I think you'd have a lot of fun with these. The reason I first bought this was because I don't wear purples or lavenders very often, so I wanted in a cost-effective eyeshadow palette that I didn't have to spend a fortune for, because I knew it was colors that I was not going to wear that often, and that's where this came in handy. And I've reached for it very often when I go to do that certain color. The quality, it's not Natasha Denona, but it's a good quality nonetheless. And again, for the right person at the right price point who's just beginning in makeup, this is a fantastic way to go. When it comes to mascara, I tested a lot of mascara this year. You guys know me, that is my thing. If I'm gonna leave the house, the one thing I will not leave the house without is mascara. So mascara is a big deal to me, and as I've gotten older and the lashes are not quite as long and they're not as full and they're not as thick, I look for a mascara that can not only volumize but can lengthen the lashes and not transfer down under here, because I have enough darkness that I try to cover up before I walk out the door that I don't need my mascara transferring underneath my eyes. Enter e.l.f. Lash and Roll. Essence Lash Princess was in a Friday face-off and it performed very well. The Essence I Love Extreme also tested out very well this year in a Friday face-off, but I reach for this one more often than this one because of the size of the brush. This I Love Extreme goes on very well. It does volumize and thicken the lashes. It doesn't thicken the lashes, it thickens the appearance of the lashes. I don't want to mislead anybody, but I find that the brush is sometimes hard to work with, especially if I'm in a hurry. So I really had to kind of take note the last couple months and say, all right, which one am I reaching for and why am I reaching for that one? And it's this e.l.f. Lash and Roll because of that curved brush. It's easy to go into your lashes and wiggle up, and because of that nice soft curve, I can go to my lower lashes on the days that I want to add mascara to my lower lashes, which isn't an everyday look for me. I think the lower lashes are sparse enough, or too sparse, that if I put mascara on them, I just don't, it looks too spidery. It looks too few and far between. So I just put a little bit of eyeliner or a little bit of eyeshadow underneath my eye on the lower part to give my eyes some definition, but it's not that often that I'll reach for mascara on the lower lashes. But this has been a really nice mascara. It does lengthen. It took 3 coats of this to get the look that I have today, but it dries pretty quickly, so I just go do something else, come back, put on that next coat, do something else, and for you know what, my lashes are done. When it comes to a concealer, I was really hoping to have a concealer that I could say, this is a go-to for me in the drugstore price point, but my must-have for 2023 concealer is the House Labs by Lady Gaga. It is not a drugstore price point, so it is not in this video, but it will be in another video. But I do reach for a drugstore concealer, just not for the purposes of concealing. And that's the Maybelline Instant Rewind Eraser. This is the very pink one. This is in number 160. And I use this, you guys, because I have found that as I've gotten older, I take all the sponges off, as you know, because I think that they are just full of bacteria. But this is a nice pink, very soft pink concealer. And I use this to go underneath my eyes and to brighten this area after I've put on a very thin coat of concealer to minimize the dark circles under my eyes. And I use this to brighten underneath that eye area because I was looking at pictures earlier in the year, and because I've lost so much volume collagen in this area, it creates a bit of a shadow and looks darker, even though I have put concealer, because you want this to look brighter. And the only way I've found to really brighten this eye area up is with this very light pink. And I wear a little bit darker foundation, and this light pink still looks really pretty on top of a darker foundation if you just take a little bit of time and blend that out. So I would try this on light skin. I would try it on darker skin. If you've got much darker skin, then I would put this on before your concealer to brighten up this area, kind of an under sculpting technique, and covering it with your concealer will give you that seamless, consistent look with the right tones underneath your eye area. So I love this. I swear by it. I reach for it a lot. I think this is either the second or the third one that I've purchased already this year. And again, it is number 160 if you're looking for something that's that pink. When it comes to lips, there's two products in the drugstore category that I reached for all year. One is the Super Stay Vinyl Ink by Maybelline. I've shared these with you guys before. The reason I love these is because the color variations are a nice wide range, so you're sure to find different colors that you like, and they last all day. I have tested these on a Friday face-off. I went through the day, I ate lunch, I drank water throughout the day, I kissed my husband as a test. Nothing took these off until a little bit of coconut oil at the end of the day. That was it. And my lips did not feel dry the next day. So if you're a nurse, for example, and you like a little bit of color to your lips, because as we age, why does the color have to go out of our lips as well? But if you're in a career or a lifestyle where you like a lip color, but you don't have time to go back and check it throughout the day and reapply, these I think are an absolute must-have. And the best part is, like I said, they do not leave my lips feeling really dry and painful the next day like some other liquid type lips do. These don't dry down matte. I love these. I think they're $9. These are a must-have for me. I tell all my girlfriends about these because they're all in careers where they don't have time to keep reapplying their lipstick, and these things do not go anywhere. The other lip product that I reach for a lot this year is this number 800 by L'Oreal. It's just the perfect nude. It goes on nice and creamy. This is what I have on today. It's number 800. It's called Ferris Nude. I like to line this with the NYX Natural Lip Pencil. My lips feel hydrated. They have a little bit of a shine to them, but not a shiny look. And it's a nice, pretty neutral color that will look good on a variety of skin tones. And I like to mix and match these to get even more color variations out of them, where I will put this on top of one of these two. So for under $20, I have 3 different lipstick shades. I've got this one, and then what they look like together. So this number 800 is just that perfect, pretty nude color. Had to share that one with you guys too because it's a big favorite of mine. When it comes to blush, I love a cream blush, especially as I age. I just think it looks better on my skin. The texture looks smoother. And for that, I think that Halo Glow Beauty Wand from e.l.f. knocked it out of the park. It's what I have on today. The little tip on it makes it really easy to put on. You can go heavier on some days. You can go lighter on some days. And I just slightly press it. And you guys, this is such a fast way to get ready in the morning. On the days where I have 5 minutes or less to get ready, I reach for this Tinted Moisturizer. It's a few dots of this. It is one of these, and then it is this Lash and Roll, and I am out the door. And I look like I've put a little bit of effort into my appearance. Some days more of an effort than others, but it's a very fast routine. While we're talking about the cheek area, I had to include the same Halo Glow Wand by e.l.f. in highlight because it's the same concept. It's very quick. Just enough product comes out when you push on it to give you a little bit of a highlight, but not too much. You can control the amount that you get, and then you just simply press it in. If you're unsure about how much to use, you can always start off on your hand. I also like to use this on the center of my eyelids because it is just a nice creamy formula on top of that e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This on your eyelids first, and then take that highlighter and just press it in, and it will give a nice, natural, no makeup look. Or you can build this highlighter if you want more of that sheen, like if you're going to a holiday party, for example, and you want a little bit more of an actual eyeshadow look to your eyes and not just an, hey, I've got beautiful eyelids, then this is a easy way to get that same look. So this is another great multi-use product. If you tend to get hot flashes though, I would definitely put this on over this primer because it will slip and settle into creases if you get sweaty or you have, again, hot flashes. But if you put it on top of this primer, you are locked and loaded all day. All right, the final product I have for you guys, and I would get my hands on this because this is a beautiful, beautiful product. This is the Glotion by L'Oreal. I've talked about this a lot throughout the summer. I'm also going to be using this a lot as we're going into holiday parties. If you're wearing short sleeve, I put this on my body, I put it on my chest, I put it on my arms. I find that it does not transfer. I wear just a thin enough amount so that it looks like I have a nice healthy glow of a tan. I put this on my face. I put it as a highlighter right through here. I've used it as an eyeshadow before. This is just, again, a very versatile product, and it gives just a little bit of a tan look. This does come in different shades. I have it in shade 903. So you can get a little bit darker. So if you're going to any type of a festivity this year, New Year's Eve maybe, where you're going to be wearing a short sleeve or a spaghetti strap, or you're just showing your chest and you want a little bit of a color and a gleam, but you don't want sparkles. We're not trying to use the spray from, Bath and Body Works from when we were 20, but you want a nice healthy glow. This is perfect for that. It helps blend out some of the discoloration, some of the light colored freckles, for example, age spots, sunspots. It just blends out my skin tone, and I'm not without this. There are so many makeup products that launch throughout the year, and then it's all rebundled and thrown back at us this time of the year to encourage us to buy and shop. So I wanted to cut through a lot of the noise and just share with you guys the Drugstore Beauty products that I, again, purchased myself, that I use in my daily real life when I'm not on camera, and some of my holy grails. A lot of these products will be showing up in stockings this year for my family. And since there are so many sales going on, check the links that I have for you on each of these products down below and take advantage of them being on sale and stock up for yourself. Well, that does it for me today, you guys. I've got a little bit more work to do, and then I'm gonna go make some fudge and start my holiday decorating. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see any of that. I'm happy to share with you what it looks like at our household after we've done some holiday decorating. I'll see you guys in just a couple days. Until then, remember, you are amazing. Take time for yourself, especially this time of the year. You deserve it, and I can't wait to see you again real soon. Bye, everyone.